This is Professor Kim Nelson with the Jewelry Design Department at FIT. Doing another tutorial for our bypass ring project, JD237. 3D modeling in Rhino. Picking up where we left off, this video will complete the ring mounting, except for the bead setting of the stones on the shoulders. The part that's causing me the most concern at this point, before I can assemble the ring, is the way that this lower flange of the shank comes in and meets with the head, the basket setting. I'm going to pick up the surfacing off the maquette. I'm going to extract the surface with the copy equals the S option. Together. I'm going to want to use a cage editing box to form this more accurately to fit my head section. So I'm going to take a look here and see about how much of it I want to change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 rows of points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about into here, about where it starts to widen out on the isoparms along the top there. I want to set a C-plane. Just moving those into storage. I want to set up a C-plane that will allow me to orient a cage editing box in a way that is more appropriate to the direction of the surface. Normally a cage editing box is going to be, it always lines up with the grid, so it'll be a straight rectangle here. Won't allow me to move things the way I want them to be moved. So I think that's a pretty good averaging between what I have here and here. Once again, a directional C-plane is best created using a ellipse. As usual, it doesn't matter the actual shape of the ellipse, just its orientation. Once I've done that, I can set a cage edit to this. Bounding box, I want it set to the C-plane. And I'm going to want most of my points along the Y direction here, the green direction. So 4 is fine for X, but for Y, I'm probably going to want, because this is going to go all the way to the back of this, I'm probably going to want about 14 points. Z is fine at 4. And you can see that that gives me points in that direction. I don't like this. This concerns me, so I'm going to stop. I really only want to edit this portion of the surface, so I'm going to split this. I'm going to take a cutting plane. I'm going to keep it well back away from the seam here where these meet, where it meets the other surface. And I'm going to trim away. Actually going to leave that cutting plane, I'm going to hide it. Okay, this changes things a little bit as to where I'm going to want that, the orientation I'm going to want on that cage editing box. Be nice if you could curve a cage editing box, but you can't. I'll pick that kind of a direction. Create an oval, set my C-plane, and 14 points anymore because it's not that long. 8. That's better. Okay. I'm going to turn the points off on that for a minute so I can select. When the points are turned on the cage editing box, I can't do anything with this, the object that is captured by the box. If I turn the points off, I can access that box again. I mean that part. I'm going to put this original flow curve onto my light blue layer. And I'm going to flow this with history. Okay. Double check that that does line up perfectly, which it does. So now I'm going to do some cage editing. Turn the points back on. I would like the whole thing to get a little bit thinner. I want this to drop down and break into this gallery wire. But even more than I want to do that, I want to pull it all back a little bit. So I'm going to do non-uniform scale. I don't want to change anything in this direction, but I do want to pull this back a bit. Take a look at how that changes things. And I would like to perhaps push this corner back. Rotate. Actually, gotta make sure I have copy, says no. Don't like what that did. So I'm just being a little more direct and capture these points. Take a look and see if I think that was worth doing. You know what? I don't think so. I think I'm going to instead just lower this and cut it with the gallery wire. So non-uniform scale again. Once again, there's a lot of thought that goes into this. I don't just, accept that what my first instinct is the right thing to do. And that already brought it down. So maybe I won't go as much as that. Take that section out. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's nice. So go back to my top C-plane, unhide this little cutting plane that I have here. I'm going to flow that. And I'm going to use that to cut off the end of this. Join the end that I've modified. Just to check it. Yeah, I broke history, that's okay. I want to make sure that it didn't affect, see, the seam's invisible. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this around. Transform, rotate, copy equals yes, 0, beginning axis, 180 degrees. Okay, I'm going to control copy these to C-plane, to clipboard, undo. I'm going to, actually, I changed my mind. Control C, Control V, copy and paste this in. I just want a copy of this to go to my storage objects layer. And then, now I will rotate this around again. Use this to trim off. Put this back. Rotate that around. Join it. And that'll give me pretty much everything I need. I'm going to want to come in now and cut this away. I need this original conglomerate again here. I'm going to just Control C, Control V, change layer, red, ungroup. I only want the finger rest, delete the rest. I'm going to cut away this section just like I normally do my put this on orange, running out of layers. And actually I no longer need that prong surface, so get rid of that. So I have that layer to use. I'm going to extract isocurve. And I just want it to come shy of where, I don't want to come to, well actually I can come to here. That's fine. I want it to make sure it leaves all of that nice blending I did with the cage edit intact. So that's good. And then on the bottom, anywhere in here is fine. I'm going to do a lofted surface. I'm going to extend that surface. Extend it quite a bit on the bottom because I know that there's a fair amount of depth to be trimmed away here. I would really like for that to cut off this corner, just because it's going to make a much nicer solution. So instead of using curvature off of the basket, isocurve off of this. That won't help me either. So, I'll cheat. Here and here. Draw an angled curve from here to here. Wireframe. Set up my view so I'm looking pretty much straight down at what I want to cut. I'm going to set my C-plane to view. I'm going to do an extrusion. Straight down. Take a look at how that interacts. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to extend the surface. Just to make sure it cuts cleanly. And I will trim off the end. Back to top C-plane. Rotate. Trim off the end. And that gives me a nice fit. I'm going to bring back my ring bore. It's time for me to assemble this. I'm going to trim out. My surfaces. Duplicate border. Now this is important because it'll also show me where I have naked edges. See this? I have some naked edges to fix there. Well, let's still just select it up. I'm going to draw straight lines across the base of these openings. Deselect the main outline so I can throw those away. Use these curves to trim off the parts of the border I don't want. And we basically want to use this border to cut the ring bore so I can join it all together. This should join into a closed curve, which it did. Trim. I can delete the curves now. Join. And join. I am going to fix those naked edges. Analyze edge tools, join two naked edges. see if I can cap any planar holes here. Interesting thing is it said 4. I can only count 2. I can only count 2 caps. I'm wondering where the other one went. You see there's still a small naked edge here. I'm not going to worry about that. That's easy enough for a printer to handle. Now, this becomes sophisticated because it comes into the prongs. It does not come smoothly into the finger bore. The finger rest. So, what I would like to have are copies of those prongs, and I do. I am so happy. Copy paste. Red is fine. Gonna want to boolean the bottom of those off. And so. Extrude. Solid. Solid difference. There we go. And now, my challenge is to make all of this go together, which is not going to be easy. I'm going to try and put a patch surface on these openings. I'm asking for trouble because this is, by design, a coincidental surface with the side of that prong. But it's worth a shot. You do not want it to adjust tangency. Rotate. Join. And like I say, I fully expect what I'm about to do to fail. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. Solid union. Yeah, it failed. Ungroup. See if I can get this to solid union. Yeah, it'll take those outside prongs. So if it'll take them, I'll do that. I no longer want to copy my surfaces. Hide those. Try and trim off the inside of this corner. I'm not feeling hopeful. Actually, that worked a lot better than I thought it would. I can see right now that these surfaces are just going to get in the way. Okay, it worked on that side. I'll do it over here. Trim. Take out this corner. Nice. Now I need to go in reverse and take it out of the prong. And that's going to fail. So I'm hand stitching this together. Join. Okay. Now I'm going to reestablish that border. Duplicate border. Ooh. Don't care for what's happening there. Wonder why. Oh, I get it. It's because I left the bottoms on these prongs. There we go. Because I'm looking for a nice contiguous border. There we go. That I can trim out the finger bore with. Trim. And trim. Assembly is almost done. I need to get back that solitary something tells me it's gone. Did I hide it? Nope. Okay. One more time. Copy paste. Bring it in red. Ungroup. Give me that. Okay. Now what I'm hoping for is a fairly simple Boolean union. Good luck. I'm going to copy this to the clipboard first. It failed. That's unfortunate. Okay. I'm going to try the same method I had begun working out before. Where I can trim out some of that. And obviously that's going to need to be extended. Top. Sides. Mirror. Check the direction. Solid difference. That just cut away some of the complicated pieces. Solid union. Better chance of it working. Failed again. I'm believing that the failure is having to do with these coincidental surfaces on the bottom. I'm going to move this down 0.005. I'd mentioned that I wasn't really comfortable with the way that this came in and barely kissed against that. I think I need to lift it up a little bit. So move it in the stone up. A little bit. You basically want 0.07 millimeters. Anything smaller than that, the printer will fill in. That's a 0.07 millimeter ball right there. It's going to be very tedious to try and move this into position. But I can get a pretty good sense of what that looks like. It's close enough. I want to move, lets me know I want to move this up a little bit more. Not much. We're talking about very small. Increments. That should be fine. And that glass is my completed ring mounting. Okay. That's the end of this video. The model is complete, except for the pave, which I will handle in the final video. Thanks for watching.